Okay, I want to talk about when both you and your partner have achieved the net position. Let's take for example that you're the serving team, and you've served, and let's say you're playing a serve and volley. You come in, your partner's moved up a little bit in here, and the return does go back cross court, past this, past your partner. You've now played your transitional shot. Let's call it a volley, back cross court here to the returner, and now you've moved up inside the service line to join your partner. And what I want you to think about here, the strategy is this. We've already talked about mirroring, and we've already talked about when the ball is in front of you, what's the ideal court position? Well, not only is your partner, the service partner, going to mirror wherever your shot went to, but let's say for discussion purposes, it's right back here to the receiver, and your partner is right in the middle of the service box, meaning they're on the halfway line, and they're not offset this way or not offset that way. The ball is in front of your partner, the service partner, and I want you to look at this for a second now. The ball's literally in front of them. It's not on a diagonal. The ball's not over here where it would be on a diagonal, but in fact the ball is on a diagonal from you. Assuming that you're the server, the ball is now cross court from you. And when we have this situation, what I want you to think about is that when the ball's in front of you, directly in front of you, you're on that halfway line mark. And if the ball's in the diagonal, you're going to be on this back third kind of imaginary mark right in here. Okay, you got the halfway mark here where your partner is, and then you're here. And the reason for this is a couple of fundamental reasons. Is going to be, number one is that if I've got both of you up here on this halfway mark, you're very, very vulnerable to a cross court lob. And it doesn't take much of a deep lob to get it over you. Number one. Number two, if you're up this close, whoever takes the ball down the middle, it's really rough to decide who's going to take that, and you can't really cover. You can't cover the middle as well as if you're back on this back third. And so here's the general rule for you is if you're in front of the ball, the service partner is now in front of the ball, you're on that halfway mark and you're mirroring wherever the ball is laterally. And if you're on the diagonal, if you're cross court from the ball, you're on this back third mark, and you are now responsible for balls hit between the two of you. So, you'd like your partner to take it, but there's lots of times when they can't. They've got to cover maybe the alley on a shot, or it's such a shot they just don't have time to move over to get it. This is going to be your responsibility. And in fact, when the ball is on the diagonal from you, is cross court from you, you've got to really cover probably 2/3 to 3/4 of the court. And that's going to mean that if there's a really tough deep lob over here behind your partner, you're now in a better position to go cover it. If there's a cross court lob, you're in a much better position to cover it. If there's a ball played right between the two of you, it's much easier to know that you've got responsibility for that shot, because lots of times this player just doesn't have the reflexes, doesn't have the time, the quickness to be able to handle this ball as it's played right between the two of you. You're back just another few feet. That sort of gives you a little bit more time. So, this is really a vital thing, and I see this mistake made all the time, is where, this server comes in, plays their transitional shot, and, really plays a nice ball back here and just closes the net, gets so close, and guess what? It's just a heartbreak. You're so vulnerable there. So, I want you to be thinking about where you are on the court in relation to the tennis ball when it's with your opponent. And again, if the ball's right here in front of you, then you're on the halfway mark. If the ball's cross court from you, then you're going to be on the back third imaginary line here, really defending probably 2/3 to 3/4 of the court. Hi, it's Brent Abel here, WebTennis.net, and hey, I hope you enjoyed chapter number 6 of my 21 video DVD doubles lesson. And you know, if you and your partner can really get the right court positioning up at net, I'm telling you, you really challenge your opponents into having to hit winners and making life miserable for them. So follow that URL you see on the screen in front of you, and looking forward to helping you with your doubles. Thanks very much.